Tonight, you will look up at the stars and see almost nothing. You will see a few thousand pinpricks of light. Maybe. And every one of those stars could be circled by worlds with oceans, with weather, with sunsets. And you will never know, because the universe has been almost completely, almost perfectly silent your entire life. Why? That question has a name. It's called the Fermi Paradox, and it is one of the most unsettling ideas a human mind has ever produced. Not because of what it tells you about space, because of what it might be telling you about your future. Here's how it starts. Look at the numbers your own scientists have measured. The Milky Way, your galaxy, the one you live inside right now, contains somewhere between 100 and 400 billion stars. That's not a guess pulled from nowhere. That figure comes from decades of star counts and stellar surveys, refined by missions like the European Space Agency's Gaia spacecraft, which has been quietly mapping the precise position of nearly 2 billion stars since 2013. And those stars have planets. A lot of them. Before 1992, you could not have proven a single planet existed outside your own solar system. Not one. Then astronomers began finding them, slowly at first, then in a flood. NASA's Kepler Space Telescope, launched in 2009, stared at one small patch of sky for years and watched for the tiny dimming of starlight as planets crossed in front of their stars. From that one keyhole view, scientists now estimate that planets outnumber stars in your galaxy. Think about what that means. Hundreds of billions of stars. More planets than stars. Billions of years of time. And out of all of that, silence. In 1950, a physicist named Enrico Fermi was having lunch with colleagues, talking casually about aliens. And in the middle of the conversation, he asked a simple question that has haunted science ever since. Where is everybody? That's it. That's the paradox. If the galaxy is this old and this vast, life should have appeared somewhere else by now. Some of it should have become intelligent. Some of that intelligence should have spread outward, star to star, across millions of years. The galaxy should be loud. It should be crowded. You should see the fingerprints of other minds everywhere you look. Instead, you see nothing. Now, let yourself feel the scale of that nothing. Your sun is one star. Picture it as a single grain of sand. To match the stars in just your own galaxy, you would need a pile of sand large enough to fill a fleet of dump trucks. And your galaxy is one of an estimated 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe, a number so large your brain physically cannot hold it. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful eye humanity has ever built, now peers so deep into space that it sees galaxies as they looked over 13 billion years ago, their light only reaching you now after a journey almost as old as time itself. And in all of that, across all of that, so far you have heard from no one. So scientists started asking the harder question, not where are they, but what stops them? There's an idea for this too. It's called the Great Filter, and it is the part that should make the back of your neck go cold. The Great Filter is a barrier. Somewhere on the long road from dead chemistry to a thriving galaxy-spanning civilization, there is a step so difficult, so unlikely, that almost nothing makes it through. Some wall that stops life before it can ever reach the stars and announce itself. The question is simple. The question is everything. Where is the wall? If the Great Filter is behind you, if the hard part was something life already passed, like the leap from non-living matter to the first living cell, or the jump from simple cells to complex ones, then you are extraordinary. Then your existence is a near miracle, and the silence makes sense, because almost nothing ever gets as far as you have. You would be rare, precious, possibly one of the first. But if the great filter is ahead of you, still waiting, still uncrossed, then it is something every advanced civilization runs into and does not survive. A wall that destroys intelligence right around the stage you are at now, and the silence would mean you're about to walk into it. That is the trap. The silence is the clue, and both readings of the clue are frightening. If we are alone, the emptiness is staggering. If we are not, the emptiness means everyone else already failed. Now bring this down from the stars to your own front yard. Step outside on a clear night. Lie back on the grass. People have done exactly this for as long as people have existed. Your ancestors looked up at the same sky, made up stories to fill the dark, and felt the same pull you feel. Carl Sagan, the astronomer who did more than anyone to make people feel the cosmos in their chest, called Earth a pale blue dot, a single mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, holding everyone who has ever lived. Every war, every love, every person you have ever known. All of it on one tiny ball, under a sky that has so far answered none of our calls. For over 60 years, people have been listening. The SETI project, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, has pointed enormous radio dishes at the heavens, sweeping the sky for any signal that didn't come from nature. The astronomer Jill Tarter spent her entire career on this search, listening for a whisper in the static. And here is the part almost no one expects. You might assume the silence proves we're alone. It doesn't. Your search has barely begun. One scientist compared all the listening humanity has done so far to scooping a single glass of water out of all of Earth's oceans, looking inside, and concluding the oceans hold no fish. You have checked a glass. The ocean is still out there, untouched, dark, and enormous. So you do not know. Not yet. But notice what the question has quietly done to you. To even ask, where is everybody? You had to first understand how big the galaxy is. You had to count the stars. You had to discover the planets. You had to build a telescope that could see the dawn of the universe and aim it into the dark. You, a species that for almost all of its history could not explain a thunderstorm, figured out the age of the cosmos and went looking for company in it. The silence has not answered you, but your willingness to ask is its own kind of answer. Because whether the universe is empty or full, one fact survives either way. Right now, on this pale blue dot, matter has woken up. The universe has produced something that can look back at it and wonder. You are the cosmos, briefly arranged into a shape that can ask where everyone is. That might be common. It might be the rarest thing that has ever happened. You don't know which. And that not knowing is exactly what makes your one short life under those stars feel less like an accident and more like a question the universe is asking itself. So tonight, you will look up at the stars and see almost nothing. But now you know the silence isn't empty. It's the largest unanswered question you will ever stand beneath. And the fact that you are here to feel it, on one quiet night, on one small world, may be the most astonishing thing in the entire sky.